The autumn semester had just begun, and a group of college friends decided to embark on a camping trip to Whispering Pines Forest. Located deep in the heart of the wilderness, the forest had a reputation for being both beautiful and eerie, a perfect destination for adventure-seeking young souls. Among the group were Alex, a daredevil with a taste for the supernatural, Emily, an amateur ghost hunter, Eric, the skeptic, and Lisa, who just wanted a memorable weekend with her friends. As they arrived at the forest, the trees seemed to close in around them, casting long shadows that danced eerily in the fading daylight. They parked their cars at the edge of the forest and started unloading their camping gear. Alex, who had suggested the trip in the first place, said with excitement, "Guys, Whispering Pines is known for its creepy legends and ghost stories. Tonight, we'll camp deep in the forest, and maybe we'll experience something supernatural." Emily added, "I've heard tales of ghostly apparitions and strange whispers in the woods. Let's see if they're true." Eric rolled his eyes, not entirely convinced. "Come on, guys, it's just folklore. There's a logical explanation for everything. Let's just enjoy the camping trip." With their tents set up and a campfire blazing, the group sat around, roasting marshmallows and sharing stories. As the night grew darker, the distant hoots of owls and the rustling of leaves added to the eerie atmosphere. "Okay, Alex, if you want something spooky to happen, tell us a ghost story," Emily said, her eyes glinting with excitement. Alex grinned and began, "Legend has it that Whispering Pines is haunted by the spirit of the forest keeper. He's said to have been a hermit who lived here centuries ago, protecting the forest from harm. Some say he still roams the woods, watching over it." Lisa shivered and wrapped her arms around herself, suddenly feeling a chill in the air. "That's a creepy story, Alex. But I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for any strange things we might encounter." Just as she said that, the wind picked up, and a faint, haunting melody seemed to echo through the trees. Eric chuckled nervously. "Just the wind playing tricks on us, guys. Nothing to worry about." The group dismissed the eerie sounds and decided to turn in for the night. They crawled into their sleeping bags inside the tents, with Emily clutching a digital voice recorder, eager to capture any ghostly whispers. As the night wore on, Alex woke up to the sound of faint laughter. The laughter grew louder and seemed to come from deeper in the forest. Alex couldn't resist his adventurous spirit and decided to follow it. With a flashlight in hand, he ventured into the darkness, the laughter leading him further and further away from the campsite. As he walked, he noticed strange orbs of light flickering among the trees. They danced and twirled, guiding him deeper into the forest. Meanwhile, Emily had also woken up, feeling a sense of unease. She realized Alex was missing and woke the others, panic in her voice. "Guys, Alex is gone. We have to find him." They scrambled out of their tents and began searching for their missing friend. The forest had grown eerily silent, as if it held its breath, and the orbs of light had vanished. Exhausted and frightened, they decided to return to the campsite and wait for daylight. When dawn finally broke, they called out Alex's name one last time and noticed something unsettling. The trees around them were marked with strange symbols carved into the bark, symbols they couldn't identify. Lisa whispered, "I have a bad feeling about this place." Agreeing, they hurriedly dismantled their campsite and made their way back to their cars. But when they reached the edge of the forest, they realized something was horribly wrong. The forest seemed to stretch on forever, with no sign of the road or their cars. Panic set in as they realized they were lost, trapped within the endless expanse of Whispering Pines Forest. Eric tried to use his phone to call for help, but there was no signal. Emily's voice recorder, which had been running all night, played back eerie whispers and laughter, sending chills down their spines. As they wandered deeper into the forest, they heard Alex's voice, faint and distant. He seemed to be calling for help, but his words were unintelligible. Desperate to find him, they followed the sound, even though it seemed to lead them deeper into the heart of the forest. Hours turned into days, and the group grew exhausted and disoriented. They encountered strange phenomena, apparitions, mysterious lights, and eerie whispers. Fear and exhaustion took their toll, and their bonds of friendship began to fray. One by one, they started to disappear. First, it was Lisa, who simply vanished without a trace. Then Eric, who became increasingly paranoid and ran off into the woods, never to be seen again. As Emily ventured deeper into the forest, she felt her sanity slipping away, much like her friends before her. She heard Alex's voice more clearly now, and its malevolent tone grew stronger, urging her to come closer. But just as she was about to reach him, a blinding flash of light erupted in the clearing, followed by an otherworldly, guttural growl. Emily stumbled back, shielding her eyes from the intense brightness. When the light finally dissipated, she found herself face to face with a towering, ethereal figure, an ancient and powerful forest spirit that radiated both fury and sadness. The spirit spoke, its voice echoing like thunder through the trees. "You trespassers have awakened me from my slumber with your fear and despair. I am the guardian of Whispering Pines, tasked with protecting this forest from those who seek to harm it." Emily, trembling with fear, managed to stammer, "We didn't mean to harm the forest. We were just looking for our friend Alex. Please, we want to leave." The forest spirit's gaze softened, and it spoke again, this time with a touch of sadness. "Your friend Alex is trapped within the very essence of this forest. He is a part of it now, as are your other friends. They have been consumed by their own fear, bound to the eternal cycle of this cursed place." Emily's eyes filled with tears as she realized the truth about their friends' fates. "Is there anything we can do to free them?" The spirit nodded, and its form began to shift and change. It transformed into the shape of Alex, but his eyes were clear, and his voice was gentle. "You must release us from this torment. We can only find peace if you willingly join us as guardians of the forest." Emily, heartbroken but determined, agreed to the forest spirit's plea. As she stepped forward, her body began to merge with the very essence of Whispering Pines, becoming one with the ancient guardian. From that day forward, Emily, Alex, and their lost friends became the new guardians of Whispering Pines Forest, protecting it from those who ventured too close. The eerie legends of the forest continued to circulate, but the truth behind the curse remained known only to those who became part of its haunting legacy. And so, the forest spirit's unexpected twist brought about a bittersweet ending, a fate intertwined with the forest they had initially sought to conquer, as guardians bound to Whispering Pines for all eternity.